question in the back.
Yes, I want to go back to the vignettes. I thought they were beautifully done. And also go back to the voice of the nurse that Gail articulated in her presentation. What I saw in the vignette from, number one, the perspective of the patient, I saw this forest of technology, and then I hear that nurses want to stop climbing over technology, and they want to be able to touch more. So I think we have our homework for us laid out if you listen to what we're all trying to accomplish, and if you look through the eyes of the patient as well as the eyes of the nurse when she's entering. She has a barrier in front of her when she enters the door, and it's audio barriers, meaning all this noise, as visual barriers, and from the standpoint of the patient. So can we all think about moving forward in the development of technology that we look at it as, does it have to be at 5 feet above finished floor? Does it have to be a barrier between us and the patient? Can it be a smaller size? Can it be docked at the foot, at the head, on the wall? It's going to be a whole paradigm shift of where we are for this to be implemented in a totally different way, in terms of maybe a docking station where you have a dashboard at the head of the bed and the foot of the bed, or maybe tucked in a bedside table. All of this is just going to have to be re-looked at, because we keep creating barriers I mean, I'm not a designer of technology, but I think the ideal dream team would be clinicians, ergonomists, engineers, and even your OTs and your PTs. You know, they can help demonstrate that to implement this, we're going to be hurting the nurse in terms of bad body postures, as well as you know, the intellect that it takes to even implement. So it just is going to be, I think, a whole different team that, you know, I'm calling on our vendors to change their processes and not be in a silo for us all, to kind of get to a new place.
No, thank you. I think you make a great point. We have a lot of vendor partners here, and really one of the things that is really important in the development of new technology is to really work very closely with those partners, with the technology vendors from the inception as they're thinking about new ideas, bringing the different clinicians and physicians into that idea germination process so they can really understand the perspective of what's going on. Also bringing the patients and patient families into that discussion, because that's really one of the things that can help drive that forward and really come up with solutions that are going to positively impact how we deliver care at the bedside. So that's a great point. That really is the challenge.
So
I
have
one in the back.
Like the perfect setup for me as the vendor. I represent Get Well, and I feel like I should say we have a solution for that. I am happy to say that Texas Children's has invested, and Get Well Network is a partner, and we are installed. We were up there in some of those vignettes, and we do offer solutions, and I'm excited in that I'm actually dedicated staff member here at Texas Children's, and we'll be working with these ladies on the panel, along with other teams that have been put together, to look at the workflow to make it easier for the nurse who has all of these different technology touch points. But how can we help lessen that and offer some education to the patient through the TV that's there, that no longer is it just for entertainment, but we can offer some solutions and work with the rest of you guys to make that touch point with the patient more interactive and more meaningful.
Up front?
If I could just add to the comment of the PDSA, I've also heard it as IPDSA, identify, which you guys are already doing that because you have equality and things like that. So, but just everybody else, you know, using the I for identify is give the means for anybody, clinicians and stuff, to identify a problem, the freedom to do it, as well as a group to, you know, go out and find those problems. Just wanted to add that part.
Yeah, thank you.
I'd like to add one comment to what John stated about our vendors hearing the challenges and what being heard, but also nurses. If you have that idea, and it's something that's being opened up here at Texas Children's, if you have an idea that would improve, a technological idea or solution that would improve your workflow because you are providing direct care, share that, get with the right folks, and how do you develop the technology that's used. I think that's empowering. That's the beauty of nursing. You can take your role in multiple ways. Obviously, as we sit up here, it's a diverse panel where we've taken nursing, but where are the nursing inventors, and how do you develop the future technology? How do you take the 3 or 4 devices and combine them into one and ensure it integrates smoothly with another to ease your workflow, take down the trees of the forest, and touch that patient?
I think the point that Julie makes is really valid as part, and what I said earlier about us attempting to constantly improve. We have a nursing strategic plan here at Texas Children's, and one arm of that plan is really focused on technology, and I've been privileged to co-lead that team. And one of the things that we've talked about is how do you get the ideas from people at the point of care? For those of you who've been bedside clinicians, how many times during your shift did you think, ooh, we need to fix this? And then an alarm goes off, a patient asks for your assistance, someone's in pain, and you lose that idea. And so we've really begun thinking through how do we capture those ideas at the point of care, take those ideas, turn them into solutions, and figure out how to improve care for everyone. And so we are really at the infancy stages of that, but I'd really challenge you to take those thoughts back and figure out how you could do that within your own organizations as well.
One more question.
I think in healthcare, we've learned over time that we had to break down silos to meet these needs. And I think that our vendors are going to have to learn that same lesson. And with that comes some financial risk. But when I look at this, I think, why can't one device do it all? And so, you know, I'm not a techno guru, but I see what my iPhone can do. And then I wonder, you know, why can't our vendors get together and say, okay, let's combine these businesses and we can do it all. So I think that it's going to be challenging for vendors to maintain profitability, but provide the service that is going to be needed in healthcare.
Good point. Any other questions as we get ready to wind down this session?
I actually have a comment to follow up on Bonnie's comment, and that's be careful what you ask for. We've been working with several of the folks in this room saying, how do we collapse into one device? Well, if you're using one device to do a scan because you're doing barcode med admin, and you get an alarm from another room, and you get a doctor calling, and you get a message from your unit clerk, unless we have a way to stack and prioritize those events, we're not making nursing's life better. We're giving them a tool that appears to be better, but it doesn't manage the interrupts in a productive way. So I constantly have this message, be careful what you ask for. And you'll see that as we go this afternoon with the concept to reality and trying to walk through some of those scenarios.